What is it about a river that sets our imaginations rolling? It must have been that way for young Sam Clemens growing up in Hannibal, Missouri, as he was becoming Mark Twain. Hannibal was a place you could see the proof of a distant world, as riverboats and barges drifted in and out of town. The same as when you live by a train track, a highway, or an ocean. There is a pull of the world towards discovery, towards the distance of what lies beyond and unseen. Mark Twain felt it. Ulysses felt it. So many travelers have felt it.
The Mississippi River Blues.
I felt it as a young man reading Huck Finn, and I saw the Mississippi River in my mind, winding down the heart of America as a place full of wild adventure. As a bit of a dreamer, I always hoped to someday follow the river and discover it for myself. My chance came when I was asked to help lead a tour on the historic Delta Queen Steamboat for one of its last slow trips down the Mississippi River. Once I was on the river, it was everything I expected. I felt transformed on the water. We were moving steadily, watching things pass on the shore. We saw the longing on the faces at the docks. We were special. We were a part of the past, but apart from the world. It was summertime, July, and it was warm. Warm enough that you could sit on the top deck in the sun during the day, and then watch the sunset seep into the wide river's horizons, and watch the stars long into the evening. Our journey would take us down the river from St. Paul to St. Louis, with stops in Iowa, Illinois, and Missouri. On the next to last day, we would stop at Hannibal, Missouri, where Mark Twain grew up and considered home. Mark Twain wrote, "It is strange how little has been written about the upper Mississippi. The river below St. Louis has been described time and again, and it is the least interesting part. Along the upper Mississippi, every hour brings something new. There are crowds of odd islands, bluffs, prairies, hills, woods, and villages, everything one could desire." It was on an earlier version of a steamboat, much like the Delta Queen, where Mark Twain became a riverboat captain. He had to learn every inch of the river, every inlet, every bend so as to be able to navigate the entire length. It took him 2 years to learn the river and become a pilot. And to be a pilot, you had to have the boat, the crew, and the passengers under your control, and guide the cast of characters safely down the river. The Delta Queen was one of the last paddle wheel steamboats to run the river. As a National Historic Landmark, the steamboat had served many celebrities and 3 presidents as it worked rivers in California, the South, and eventually had come to travel down the Mississippi. Each time the boat left the shore, there was a tradition of playing the steam calliope. When we arrived in Hannibal, Missouri, it was clear to see that Mark Twain was here. Mark Twain was a genius and a promoter of the ideal of the American individual, and it made perfect sense to me that in the place where he was from, everything should promote him. For in no one place that I had visited had an industry arisen to promote just one individual, such as here in Hannibal. Leaving Hannibal, we neared the inevitable end of our journey. To see the river this way, from this boat, was a once-in-a-lifetime chance to discover the river as Mark Twain had known it. To see the people on the shore and wave goodbye and watch them slowly disappear reminded me of the Kerouac quote of driving away from people on the highway and watching them become specks in the distance, and then suddenly, it's goodbye. It's that way on the river too, just slower and longer, but at some point the river just keeps rolling on, and like life, No matter what happens, you need to look ahead, see what's coming, and discover the next adventure.